Well, guys, welcome back. Today I'll be showing you our artificial lake where it used to be a beach for the city. Let's go. Доброе утро. Well, all this used to be covered with sand. Um, Over there you can actually still see old changing rooms or whatever you want to call it. And all this used to be filled with sand. People would come from the city. My neighborhood is over there behind all those trees, and we just come here. And all this, over here used to be a sand, and water used to be much higher. They kind of depleted a little bit of it because neighborhood over there was kind of being flooded year after year because of it, so they kind of depleted a little bit of water. And all these trees that you see here by the you know they're not used to be here, so they're not used to be here. And my first time I actually learned how to swim is right there, that section right there. I remember my uncle just dropped me into water and was like, hey, start learning. And this is the place I learned how to swim. Anyway, so now it's closed for swimming. Now it's basically a sanctuary for all the birds. You know, people barely come here to actually swim. It's more like dog walk. If you have a dog walking. I'm gonna show you more up there. Yeah, this is the spot. Water used to be much higher, much higher. Let me show you. So basically, if I'll come right here, this spot right here, this is where water started. Now it's all depleted up to there. Now it's a bunch of ducks, bunch of trees, and like I said, it's been 24 years since I left my country. I moved to Portland, Oregon, US. And so in 24 years, all this tree grew, and this place became the sanctuary for all the birds. And you can start hearing all the noise. That's them. And if you come here like 4 o'clock in the morning, because during summertime, they don't have nights basically over here, like at all. It's always looks like it's gonna be a sunrise or something. So we used to like swim from here to there. There's just a bunch of birds nesting. And if you come like really early, like 4 o'clock over here, there's gonna be a bunch of just, flying in the sky. It's like wild, really wild. Right now they're just nesting, I guess. They're all in there, like hundreds and hundreds of them, just nesting. Basically, it's what, seagulls, right? So basically, what's this place is? It's artificial lake. We call it. I need a moment to actually remember it. Clocking out over here. Well, if I remember the name for it, I'll say it. All right. But basically, it's artificial place. They didn't mean to create this. They were just excavating for some, materials or whatever. And then one day they came and This whole place with all the equipment, it's really deep down there. Just got flooded and they just left it everything up there. I remember, it's called Carrier. Carrier. You gotta say it fast though, Carrier. See, nesting right there. Bunch of seagulls. I don't know why it's only seagulls and ducks, but that's what it is. And a bunch of fish over here. If you come really early in the morning, water is clear, there's no wind, you can see there's just flocks swimming up there like crazy. All kinds of fish over here. And if we're gonna zoom in, I see something. Look at that. What do we see here? Лебеди. Look at that. See? I didn't see that last time. Bunch of ducks and kind of forgot how to say it in English, but whatever. The name of that bird, but you get it. Anyway, let's continue walking. This video is gonna be long, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you're gonna clock out. But I'm gonna show you the whole thing, so it's probably gonna be like 20-30 minutes long video, maybe more. I do my best to do short ones, but sometimes it gotta be long to show you the whole thing. Plus, I'm kind of recording for myself too, for memories. Where we used to jump off of, swim over here, and from my neighborhood, that's my neighborhood right there. Yeah, I live that right there. So actually you can see my house from here. No, that's not mine. Let me see. That's just the corner of it. My house is somewhere in that section behind those trees. Yeah, and we just walk here. And the whole summer we're just spending over here swimming. Bunch of sand. There's a little bit of sand left right there, you can see. Now it's all grass. And the water would be like right here. So now you can see them. Look at that. There's just a bunch of them up there, just relaxing. And then like 4 o'clock in the morning, they just like, you know, fill the whole sky over here. And look at them, look at them. They need to zoom in so I can actually see. See? And it's like much more like if really early in the morning. Anyway, let's continue walking. So, like I said, they've, you know, just filled this place with grass. People walking with dogs over here. Fishing in the morning. Bunch of fishermen over here. They installed that. And I used to be here. There's another change room, whatever you want to call it. There's like what, 1 and 2 left from old ones. There used to be so much more. Somebody's tagging over here and all that. Yeah, so since all this kind of went down a little bit, the water level, a lot of rock being exposed. So over 24 years, all those trees grew. There used to be no trees at all. And we would swim, not even there, but we would swim like right there. Right there, that would be the spot. All of this on the side, that was not there before. All these trees that were not here, it was just clear. And people just would, you know, sunbathing right here on the sand, jump, you know, swim, do all kinds of flips and everything. I mean, people still fish back then, but fish was not that great over here. Now it is, because it's kind of sanctuary now for all the birds and fish. And let me see and zoom in into those swans. Here you go, I don't remember the name. Look at them. It's beautiful. Hopefully on the way back I can snap some more pictures. And on that side, basically, and a little bit on that side, we would our neighborhood, basically, we're kind of a little bit of like a farm place. We would have cows, sheep, you know, all kinds of, and we would have cowboys, you know, taking our flocks in the morning, and afternoon I would have to take 2 or 1 cow, depends how many cows we had back then. Sometimes we had 2, sometimes we had just 1. You know, eventually we would, you know, send them to heaven because we need the meat too. And then we would buy ourselves a new one, and you know, she delivers the baby, and then she would give us milk for the whole year. And then the next year we have to take to the, you know, the male. She delivers another one, and so on and so on. So this is the place I would jump off. Yeah, somebody actually installed a wooden plaque over here. Kind of broke off now. So yeah, I mean, I'm still happy that even they don't use it no more for swimming and all that. It's a sanctuary for all the birds and fish and ducks and swans, apparently, because I didn't see them yesterday here. I mean, I heard that they kind of here, but I didn't. That I'm actually gonna be able to see them. Yeah, and I would actually help our cowboys, you know, deal with all the flock, you know, the cows, the sheep, and all that. And then afternoon, I would have to take, depends how many cows at that moment we had back home. My mama would, you know, drain the cow from milk, you know, the milk and all that, and we would sell the milk, and we would have fresh milk every day. So basically, I grew up in a miniature farm. We'd have pigs, we'd have chickens, we'd have 2 or 1 cow, depends, you know, over the years. So I lived here until I was 16 and a half, basically. And we had a really good piece of land where we grew potatoes, tomatoes, and all kinds of stuff. And look at that beauty right there. Yeah, that not used to be here before at all. Zero birds. Now look at that. They're all happy to see us. Look at that. Look at that. They're going wild, man. So yeah, city Narva, country Estonia. Look at that. And look at that, the young ones. The young ones. Look at that. It's just beautiful right there. So not only we have castles and everything, you know, little Transylvania going on over here. I have 2 castles in my city, you know, one on one side and one on the Russian side across the river. Our river is not that wide, so really, literally across each other. And you can, I guess, find it later. I'll be posting a video about our castles. But at the moment I'm doing this. So yeah, I'll be here for 3 months and do my best to explore my own city. And then I'm gonna go from city to city. Because my country is really small. My home country is really small. Like the state of Washington maybe, probably smaller. So yeah, look at that. And over there, we're gonna walk up to a little road where usually about 7 or 8 o'clock, cowboys would start bringing our, flock back to our neighborhood. Owners will come up, pick up their, we would pay to the cowboys for their work. And a lot of people from the city would come to us, buy fresh milk. None of that store bullshit milk that they call milk. When I got to US, I was like, what the hell is this shit? So until 16 and a half years, living here, I drank fresh milk. I ate real butter with some real fresh meat, bread out of oven, the good stuff, the farmer stuff. So yeah, I guess I consider myself a cowboy because I used to deal with cows who would prepare hay for the winter, and that would be the size, our barn would be the size of 2-story high, maybe 3-story high house, basically, literally. It would be like 4x4, 3-story high house. So you can imagine it to yourself how big that was. Anyway, we come to the road I was telling you about. It's kind of, destroyed over here. And yeah, there would the grass would start here approximately, and then go forward there will be just sand. Then on this side it was always grass, so they would put our flock over here, they would eat over here, then they would take it to that side. So, but now these days, with all the restrictions and everything in this country, nobody has animals anymore. Nobody have cows or, and none of these trees on the side right here used to be here. None of them. None of this was here. So that's what I'm saying, that this place became a sanctuary. And then I would just come here and wait on this spot, and then I would take our cows back home. So, and basically this is another side of the artificial lake. Well, if you want to call it this lake, we call it carrier. That's the name for artificial stuff in Estonia. Yeah. So I like the whole idea that even though they stopped using this place as a beach, they turn into, a lake, a sanctuary. People come fish here. People come to walk around over here. I'm gonna show you, they kind of installed a little road, bicycle road over here. Planted some new trees. These trees, I guess they planted them here too, and they grew in 24 years. But yeah, none of them was here, none of them. That's why I love my city. If you take a bicycle from one end to the other, it'll take you about 15 minutes to do the whole thing. And like I said, my whole country is like the size of maybe Washington, size of Oregon, it's probably smaller. And by the way, little thing about my country is that, if anybody still remembers this, the small app called Skype, through which people start, video calling each other, my country created that. Then Microsoft bought it, and then Microsoft killed it. It still exists, thing is like nobody using it no more. Like MySpace, you know, it's just dead. Once the WhatsApp showed up, Viber showed up. Me personally, I also use Marco Polo. It's strictly video calling. Well, not video calling, video messaging. Nothing else but video messaging. Anyway, this is the rock, another rock, famous rock that we would jump off of. The water would be up to here. And yeah, it is kind of weird to see this now like that. So anyway, let me show you what they've done with the place. You know, for those people who actually, and by the way, you can, if you speak any other languages, you can just turn on the annotation and we'll translate it to your language, especially if you live in this city, in this country. Let me show you another spot before we turn back, and I'll show you the rest of it. Yeah, look at that, 21 minutes. 21 minutes so far. Oh yeah, this is another one. This is a really big one. This is the place where we would do all kinds of tricks. Fishermen in the morning would fish over here. So yeah, water over here would be all the way up to here. So you can imagine how much they drained. And because of that kind of level of water, that neighborhood would get flooded. Their basements basically would get flooded. So they eventually decided to start draining it, leave it at a certain level, you know. Anyway, so this, all this little new trees over here you see, it's all fresh. This bicycle road right here, or walking road right here, was not here before. Just used to be a field. Yeah, so many memories flooding back in. It's weird to coming back to the, you know, to your country where you grew up after so many years. If you know the way it feels like somebody opening doors, opening archives, and you start pulling all the files and memory comes flooding back in, you know, what you stopped thinking and, you know, long time ago. And you're like, oh, you know, I did this and this over here, you know. I did that and this over here. And it's weird. It's weird. So yeah, people back home, they were like, why in the heck are you going there for 3 months? And I'm like, well, so I can be good for another 24 years. It's not like I ever coming back here. So might as well go to every spot, every place I've been in. You know, and people over here, they always usually walk, you know, if they have to actually drive to work somebody far, yeah, sure, you see cars over there, but usually people just walk. That's why people keep skinny, you know, like people really skinny over here. Sometimes you would think that they have cancer or something, but that's just us coming from wealthy countries. All these hormones and bad food, you becoming so freaking fat. Yeah, over here people eat healthy food, keep in shape, you know. And I miss small city, you know, really miss it. Living in Portland, Oregon, it's peaceful over here. Almost no crime. So if you have good retirement money or whatever, I would suggest, you know, for $15,000 you can buy a apartment over here and just retire. Food is cheap, you know, comparing, of course. Electronics, of course, much higher because of what's going on in the world right now. And But otherwise, it's so much to see. Castles after castles, Transylvania style. Every city you go, there's old structures, you know, castles and bunch of, art stuff. And it's a lot to see. And hopefully I can just do it in 3 months. Maybe by the end of this week I'll finish going to all the places I want to see. Probably want to go to some museums too. It was kind of weird when I went to castle and that castle had elevator. Now, believe you me, after we did the other half of it that didn't have elevator, we're like, oh my god, wait, so happy that the other half had elevator. Especially if you overweight a little bit like me. Yeah, if you're not in shape, you're gonna be like, you know. And yeah, so we just did the circle. And this is what's going on over here. Of course, they installed doggy place over here where you can drop the droppings and maybe get yourself a free baggie or whatever. Very modern park / sanctuary, lake, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so like I said, the flock used to come, from there, and then I would take it back to my my neighborhood, Paimara. That's how we call it. It's gonna be my first time actually walking through here, crossing the street in 24 years. You gotta walk fast if you don't want to get hit. This is how it works over here. Of course, you gotta stop and look both ways. And sure, e-bikes, e-scooters everywhere, man. Yeah, and you would just and then take a corner like this and you're gonna see my house basically. I think the other day I did a video about my house and everything, so I might upload it too. Maybe slap some music on it. Anyway, so this is Carrier. This is artificial lake. Well, split in two basically. Really happy what they've done with the place. Really happy. Almost 30 minutes. Not bad, not bad. I'll do my best just to do it short. But this one took a while because there's so much to talk about. Anyway, guys, it's my vlogging, my traveling. I started doing this from my own city. And yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, chat down below. And I will see you on next episode of Traveling Estonia, baby.